Hi and welcome back. In this video, we want to take you along to Marrakesh. See the beautiful street markets and learn how to avoid getting ripped off. See the beautiful palaces or the incredible Quran school. This video should prepare you for all the essentials that you need when you spend some time in Marrakesh. Shortly after arriving in Marrakesh, you're already up for your first challenge, arriving at your hotel. If you end up getting a rental car, be warned, driving in Marrakesh is not easy. Next to navigating the crazy drivers, you will also have to navigate different scams. We have done a different video on that, we'll link it down in the description below. At this point, just a warning, Google Maps doesn't seem to know about the closures of the Medina for cars throughout the day. Finding a parking spot next to your accommodation and even getting to it can be tricky. Around the city you will find a lot of signs of destruction. In September 2023, a 6.9 Richter scale earthquake was shaking the ground just 73 kilometers southwest of Marrakesh. The destruction that followed is still visible all over the city. Luckily, many of the old townhouses still survived the earthquake, and Riyadh, as they are called, is the perfect place to stay if you want to explore the buzzing markets or souks of Marrakesh. Just one point of advice, make sure when you check out to have a bit of cash on hand. Many of the Riyadhs don't really accept credit cards, and you will have to pay a city tax and whatever else you might have in additional services. The narrow streets of the old town of Marrakesh can be an absolute beauty to explore. You will find many beautiful houses and alleyways, all the way surrounded by the normal traffic of Marrakesh. Especially the old wooden doors are a sight to behold. The artistic woodwork on the doors can be easily overlooked if you're just passing by. Throughout the entire town you will also be able to spot beautiful street art. Flying a drone in Morocco is forbidden, and if you have one in your luggage you need to declare and store it at the airport. You can still get a beautiful overview over the city by visiting one of the many rooftop bars. From up here you can also spot the different ways how the merchants provide shade for the markets below. Many streets have coverings from simple tarps to beautiful crafted woodwork to provide shade for the markets below. The simple streets might look empty and deserted in the morning. During the day, however, they are transformed into a buzzing maze of merchants offering the different wares. The only thing seemingly connecting the markets in the morning and the evening are the crazy motorcyclists racing through them. The souks are all centered around the big market square. Here you will find all kinds of food stands, mostly overpriced and not even that good, and of course the different tourist scams. Snake and monkey handlers will roam the place and ask for ridiculous prices to take a picture. The best tip if you want to do any shopping is to go as far away from the big market square as possible. The closer you are to the square, the higher the prices will be. Simply stepping away from the main street will bring you from the overcrowded area into an area that you can actually enjoy. Just be aware that even on an empty street you should stick to the side, because the empty street just makes the motorcyclists go faster. What becomes obvious is that these markets are only made for tourists. You will find the same wares everywhere. One category of this is fruits and olives. Especially on the main square you will find a lot of overpriced fruit stands. Another big category is pottery or ceramics. The rough guideline is always to never pay more than 50% of what you would pay in Europe. Also be aware of people offering things that are claimed to be authentic, but are actually made in India. In general, the more expensive the item is, the more likely you are to get ripped off with it. The textile and leather industry is particularly big in Morocco. All over the city you will find fabrics, collars and leatherwares. Especially carpets are a popular item for scammers. It is easy to claim high prices and high quality, while in the end you're getting ripped off by buying a cheap product for an inflated price. As always, the guideline is explore the prices, explore the city, and specifically never buy from the first merchant you visit. You should at least visit 4 different merchants and have prices to compare before you make any decision of purchasing anything. One concrete example that we can give you are the scarves you will find all over Morocco. We found the exact same scarf in different shops, one for 200, one for 65 dirham. The general rule is whatever a merchant is willing to sell for, they are still making a huge profit. We had one merchant rejecting a 90 dirham offer, asking for 120, and only 100 meters further we found the same scarf we wanted to get for just 75 dirham. Another big category of shops is spice shops. They will try to lure you in with a beautiful display of spices, but even the beautiful shaped cones are already a fake. The shops trying to lure you in with these beautiful displays are mostly trying to rip you off. At each of these shops you will find someone very aggressively showing you what they have on offer and explaining all the different things to you. Also, expensive spices are a perfect candidate for rip-offs. If you're intent on buying saffron, make sure to buy it not in a sealed container. Saffron will have a very intense fragrance. If you're offered a sealed container, it's most likely going to be an attempt to sell you safflower instead. Our tip, move to the unattractive side streets. Here the shops selling to locals are located, and they have the actual things on offer. The shops at the main streets are mostly here for decoration. Like, one thing I really don't get here in Morocco is people are really like confused that you're getting skeptical and annoyed by all of what they do. But at the same time, like, more or less every single person we've met, like shops, wherever, they're just lying to you. Like, to them, they're just like some money back to take advantage of. And yeah, if you realize that and start getting annoyed or don't fall for it anymore, then they're confused. So, like, at least more or less all of the business people we've met here, to them, you're just a huge pile of money, and yeah, you should be aware of that. Like, I would argue typical prices we've been offered compared to the ones that have their posted prices at their shops, they're often like 10 times as high as the posted prices. But yeah, they still get offended if you don't take that for granted and yeah, don't want to fall for it. So, bless you. Many of the items sold at the markets are made in Morocco. If you have time in the early morning, you can also visit the tanneries. We were a bit late, so we could only watch the empty ones. Even while the tanneries are not in use, you will encounter a terrible smell. Before coloring the leather will be soaked in pigeon poop. The ammonia within the poop will help soften the leather and make it easier for it to absorb the dye. As everywhere, you will have people aggressively trying to sell you access to the different parts of the tanneries. If you're looking for a contrast from the busy streets, one of the points you can visit is the secret garden. Given that it only takes 45 minutes to 60 minutes to enjoy the garden, we have to say that the price of $10 or 10 euros roughly is a bit too much in our view. If you're into architecture, you might find it interesting that it's following very specific rules and a geometric layout, but other than that, it only has a small collection of exotic plants and really wasn't too special. Following the Quran's definition of heaven, which is a garden in which streams flow, the garden features an extensive water system. It is even connected to the city's first cataract, a ground drainage system and a sign of extreme wealth and privilege in the time. our personal highlights was the Madrasa Ben Youssef, the Quran school in Marrakesh. Built in the 14th century, this madrasa was once the largest Islamic school in North Africa and is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It can be visited daily between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. After a period of abandonment following the 18th century, it fell into disrepair. Luckily, in the 19th century, it was restored and reopened as an Islamic school. The school is named after the neighboring mosque, which used to be the main mosque of the city. The school features an almost square layout, measuring 40 by 43 meters, with 2 floors centered around a large courtyard. On the walls of the El Badi Palace, one of our other highlights of Marrakesh, you will encounter lots of storks. In many cultures, the stork is a strong symbol of fertility, representing new life and birth. This association is rooted in the stork's migration habits and the timing of their return to Europe in the spring. Here, it's a fun coincidence, as the palace was also home to the Sultan's harem, which included over 500 women. Today, you don't have to be a member of the harem to visit this palace built in 1578. It was originally constructed as a symbol of the Sultan's power and wealth. The palace follows a combination of traditional Moroccan and European styles. You can still find lots of the decorations, intricate mosaics, marble columns, and ornate carvings. While it is a beautiful place to visit, a visit here doesn't take much longer than an hour or two. The El Badi Palace is also a lot less popular than the Bahia Palace. The Bahia Palace is of younger construction and was finished just in the mid-19th century. Today, it's a well-known historic monument and a tourist attraction within the city. Exploring the palace feels almost like exploring a labyrinth. Being constructed and expanded over multiple years, it's a piecemeal effort that doesn't follow a clear plan of expansion. Next to multiple small courtyards and riads, it also features a large courtyard giving access to about 80 rooms. It is believed that these rooms were used as part of Ba Ahmed's harem and were housing his concubines. Throughout the entire palace, you will be able to spot beautifully painted ceilings, incredible ornate carvings, and beautiful mosaics on the floor. However, given the popularity, the place will be very crowded. One thing to note here, at the entrance we found a lot of signs saying no photography, but this apparently only applies to the entrance area where you buy your tickets. All over the palace, you are allowed to take pictures. Thank you for visiting Marrakesh with us. If you enjoyed the video, you can support our channel by pressing the like button. And of course, we are always happy about new subscribers to join our channel. And now, check out one of our other videos from Morocco over here.